head coach Alex Golesh.
Alex Golesh was named Auburn's head football coach on November 30th, 2025, becoming the 33rd head coach in program history. He moves to the Plains following 3 highly successful seasons here in Tampa at the University of South Florida, leading that program from 2003 to 2025. And while at USF, he engineered a rapid rebuild of the football team. Under his leadership, the Bulls recorded 23 wins over those three seasons and a 9-3 mark in 2025. Prior to Alex arriving at USF, the Bulls had won just 4 games over the prior 3 seasons. I know from following the news and social media, Alex was busy traveling a great deal, speaking to Auburn fans all over the state of Alabama and across the Southeast, including, I think, last night here in Tampa. He's joked a few times in speaking to those groups that it's been nice to travel around because he's the only undefeated coach in program history at this point in his career. When he's not in the office, he spends time with his family. They have a new home with a fishing pond that he spends time at with his son. He and his wife, Alexis, have 2 children, Corbin and Bear. Welcome to the podium, the Auburn University head football coach, Alex Golesh.
War Eagle. All right. Thank you, Commissioner Sankey. Appreciate the introduction. I am humbled and grateful to have been named the head football coach at Auburn University 7 months ago, and it has been an incredible journey up until this point. Thankful to be back in Tampa. We spent just over 3 years here and met some incredible people here, some dear friends. Still, this community was incredible to my family, and I am really, really thankful for my time here, the way we got treated, and the commitment that was made to us here in Tampa. Thankful to Dr. Roberts and our administration and them welcoming us to Auburn, what they've done for us through these first 7 months and given us the ability to go hire an elite staff, given us the ability to go build the way we need to. Thankful to John Cohen for bringing me to Auburn, our board of trustees that continues to pour into our program. Beyond thankful to the Auburn family for welcoming us, welcoming my family, and even as late as last night, spending time here in Tampa with a bunch of alums and people that care deeply about Auburn here down in Florida and all over this state. That was a neat event, and thankful to the donors across the country that I've had a chance to go meet from the time I got there, spent a bunch of time in May. Man, the love for Auburn around the country is incredible, and thankful to their support, their continued investment in our program. Thankful to our staff. John gave us the ability to go hire the most incredible staff that I've ever been a part of. Every time I walk out of our staff meetings, I'm just wowed by the professionals that are in there, the men and women that we were able to bring into this program to help us build Auburn back to where it belongs. Thankful to their families and the close to 100 families that chose to move to Auburn and join us in building this new era of Auburn football. Grateful to the wives, the kids, and how many people picked their lives up and came with us that believe in our vision, believed in myself, and believed in what we're doing. More than anything else, I'm thankful to our players, the almost 70 that chose to stay, and then the 40 that came in, and thankful for what they've done. Change is hard. Change is incredibly hard in this day and age, and these guys have embraced the change. And when you come in and things are different, things are not what they're used to, the expectation standards are different than maybe things that people want, the ability to buy in and continuously fight for what needs to be done. I'm beyond grateful to our kids in our program. We are 2 weeks away from camp. Actually today, report 2 weeks from today. And we're going to go into getting ready for week 1 in the Aflac kickoff game against Baylor. Grateful to be a part of that in Atlanta. Grateful to get in front of our fans in Atlanta. We've got an incredible alumni base. It's going to be an incredible Auburn crowd. Thankful for Aflac for having us in the game. You combine that with 9 SEC games, and we feel like we're set up to have one of the best schedules in the country and an incredibly tough slate to get through for the year that we're beyond excited about. This 2 weeks from camp, we've had a 6-month buildup. Spent a month assembling a roster, retaining a roster, and we've had a 6-month buildup to get to this point. I get giddy thinking about starting football. It's the 3 weeks of the year where the doors are shut, you're with your players, with your staff, and you get to play ball. And that's the part I'm most excited about. You talk about a 6-month buildup. We went through an incredibly hard winter. We made it hard intentionally. We pushed as hard as you can to the limit to get ourselves ready for spring. We went through a long, hard spring. Talked to our players, and they would tell you it was about as hard as anything they've gone through as it needed to be. And it was hard in a lot of ways. It was the start of building of an identity, and it was the start of building and changing a culture that's standard-based, where everything we do is at an elite level. And then we went into the summer, and the summer was all about, yes, getting physically and mentally stronger, bigger, faster, but as much as anything else is the ability for us to connect as a team. And as you put together 115 guys that haven't been together and a brand new staff, the ability to connect and work through things and get to know each other is the difference of how the season ends up playing out. Can these guys communicate? Can these guys truly learn to grow and love each other and truly form a brotherhood? We got 2 weeks left to get into camp and be able to get after it. The biggest question I've gotten as I've gone through this journey the last 7 months is, man, what's a successful year 1 look like? And how do you gauge it? And what are your goals? And I don't really have any goals other than laying a foundation for what Auburn football is going to be for years to come, and that starts with building an identity. And this word identity is the only thing we've talked about as a program. And what does that look like for us? What is the identity of our program? Who are we when people sit down and watch us play on Saturdays? And the identities is one thing for me to talk about. It's one thing for me to preach. It's one thing for me to hold a standard in every aspect of our program, and it's another for our kids to embrace it and live it. And the first piece of this identity that we've hammered home is the ability to be physically and mentally tough. That's what Auburn football was built on. Physical and mental toughness. The ability to be the most violent football team on the field every Saturday. Violent. I think that's something you can watch and see. It's something that you can look and say, man, this is a physically and mentally tough football team. A football team that's connected. Guys score, do they celebrate together? Guys make mistakes, do people pick them up? Create an explosive on defense, is everybody in there celebrating together? A group that's connected, a group that communicates extremely well, a group that plays for each other, a group that has leadership. Got to have the ability to lead, and it has to come from the guys on the field. I've always said that if a team is coach-led, you'll max out at a level or at a point. When a team is player-led and it's player-driven, you win championships. That's as hard of an objective to reach right now in college football as you can ever imagine, but the ability to lead and then the ability for guys to follow. We've spent a lot of time building leaders. It's got to be the guys on the football field. And a team that's incredibly detailed. We talk about winning in the margins. You watch a team play, and are they detailed in what they do? Is situational football look like the way it's supposed to? Third down, fourth down, special teams, detail in special teams, ball security, red zone offense, tight zone offense, goal line offense, 2-minute offense, 4-minute offense, 4-minute defense, 2-minute defense, red zone defense. tight zone defense, goal line defense? Are you detailed in the margins that win football games? That's what I want our identity to be. If we can leave year one and we have a foundation that's built on our identity, I would tell you it's a successful year one. We have fought like crazy to build a process-driven program where we worry about winning day to day. My job is to set standards in every aspect of our program. It's our players' job to uphold those standards and live them every single day. That's what we've worked on for 7 months. In 2 weeks, we get to go strap it on, continue to build on our identity. And like I said, I'm beyond excited to go kick it off in Atlanta in the Aflac Kickoff Classic. So I'll open it up to questions.
Thank you, Coach Golesh. If you have a question, raise your hand. We have Patrick, Aaron, and Ellie. We'll go ahead and start right here in the front. AP? Right here to our left, Coach.
Hi, Coach. Good morning. AP Stedham of AP As We See It. Coach, can you tell our audience why you selected these 3 players to bring to SEC Media Days? And you can make a few comments about them.
Absolutely. You know, we talk about identity and everything that I want this program to be and everything that we represent. There could have been a bunch of guys that we picked. These 3 guys represent every single day this identity that I talk about, represent the standards that we live every single day. Start with Champ Anthony. Champ is a young man that has overcome about as much as anybody in our program. A young man that came from junior college, came in, won a job, was a captain, and has had 2 seasons get cut short by a broken leg and then a broken leg. And a young man, since the day I got there, has stood on the table for being at Auburn, leading the right way, bringing others with him on both sides of the ball, on top of being a high-end football player that can play all 5 spots in the back end, and has said over and over again, Coach, just find a way to get me on the field and I'll do everything in my power to help Auburn win football games. Inspirational in every way. He's the first guy I see every morning when I walk in the building, rehabbing to get right. He's finally cleared. He's ready to rock and roll. He's a guy that in spring, when he couldn't go, literally I'd have to pull him off the field because he's out there coaching his tail off. And Champ represents everything you want an Auburn man to be, overcoming adversity, and I just absolutely can't wait for him to have the year that he deserves to have. Alex McPherson, our kicker, and is the only specialist here at SEC Media Day, as it got pointed out to me. And Alex is another young man that has had an incredibly successful career at Auburn as an Alabama kid that grew up dreaming of playing at Auburn. Another young man, since the day I got there, said, Coach, I just want to do everything in my power to go win at Auburn. And a young man whose 2024 year got cut short. His story has been highly publicized. Talk about overcoming adversity. Really shouldn't be playing football and continues to fight through to be one of the best kickers in the history of Auburn. But at the same time, represents everything you want an Auburn man to be. He's a young man that in winter workouts, talked to the trainers, our doctors. I told his position coach, listen, like this winter workout thing, like this is about to be as grueling as anything that these guys have ever gone through. I need Alex to make field goals. Like, let's kind of have him go over there, work out, kind of on his own. I went up to Alex. I said, listen, dude, like, you're not going to go through this. And you should have seen the look on Alex's face. He's like, I'm not a kicker. I play football here. And as late as yesterday morning at 7 a.m. when he lifted with the developmental group, he's out there running with the skill guys. This is a kicker that we need to make field goals, refuses to do anything other than what everybody else is doing. You talk about our identity, physically and mentally tough, leader. His process is elite, and what he does and how he does it. Almost a 90% field goal guy in his career here. Is another guy that I'm so excited about watching his senior year and seeing him help us win football games because of the way that he's bought in and his process and identity of our football program. And Alex McPherson is an Auburn man as they come. And you talk about Byron Brown, and Byron is a young man that I've known since he was an 18-year-old redshirt freshman. that has grown through these 4 years into one of the best football players I've ever been around. Again, you talk about identity, and you talk about process-driven, and you talk about player-led. Young man that has not only developed as a player to become a complete quarterback, but a guy that has developed as a leader. And I've always said this, and I've been fortunate over the last 10 years to be around some special quarterbacks. When your quarterback can be one of the toughest guys on the team, could be one of the hardest workers on the team, could have the most elite process on the team, on top of being one of the best leaders on the team, when it's driven by that quarterback, by the guy that touches the ball every single snap, and both the offense and the defensive guys can point to him and say, that's who we follow, you can do something special. And Byron Brown represents everything that's right about Auburn football and the identity that we're building. And a guy that went into the portal after last season, and you talk about a couple of days where you sit there and you cringe like, man, everybody in the country is going after this kid, and the kid that showed up in Auburn and said, man, what do we got to do to go win? Makes, obviously, me feel good, gives me a level of confidence going into the season that we're led by that guy, and a guy that's worked extremely hard to embrace the guys that were already at Auburn, the guys that transferred in, just everything you could ever want in a young man, in a quarterback, both physically and off the field. That's why these three guys, all seniors, all representing what we want our identity to be, and three guys that by the time they get done, hopefully in late January, that are going to be Auburn men for life, that represent everything that's right about the Auburn family.
Okay, we're going to stay in the center aisle.
Michael Giddens, War Report, Auburn. Coach, bringing your quarterback gives you a jump start on implementing the types of things you're going to want to do offensively. But at the end of the day, if at the end of the season we're talking about Byron Brown as one of the best quarterbacks in the country, what things have to happen between now and then to help make that a reality for Byron and help Auburn achieve their goals on the field this season?
Yeah, well, Byron Brown is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and he's shown that over the years. What's got to happen for Byron is he's just got to continue to be him every single day. And what gives him confidence is everything that we've preached from day one. It's your daily process. It's how you come in that building. It's how you treat people. It's how you take care of your body. It's how you show up to work. It's truly how your locker looks, how you approach getting on the field, off the field, how you communicate on the sideline, on top of how you actually work when it's time to go to work. And Byron's just got to be him. The confidence that he's going to be the best version of him every single day should give confidence to everybody around him, players, coaches, support staff. And ultimately, if he's the best version of him every single day, we'll get to where we got to get to on the field.
Coach, we'll go over here to our left-hand side, near aisle.
Hey, Coach, this is Reagan Scarta of Inside Arkansas. At Tennessee, your offense became known for creating explosive plays. Now that you're at Auburn, what's the biggest key to bringing that same level of success to production there?
Yeah, Reagan, I think offensive football is about finding matchups in space, and we choose to do it really, really quickly. As we've evolved offensively and as we have to continue to evolve offensively, we've got to use these next 3 weeks once we get into camp to truly figure out who are our playmakers, put them in the best positions to create the best matchups, and do it really, really fast. And if we continue to do that, we've got the right staff to figure it out. We've got a bunch of guys that are familiar with the system. We've got a bunch of guys that we brought in that are getting familiar with the system, but we need to use those 3 weeks to truly identify formationally how we do that, which guys can help, because we want to use as many as can help us, and then getting them in space. And that's in the run game and the pass game. For us, everything starts with the ability to run the football, and it sets up everything else. But it's the players in the right formations to then be able to create explosives because the matchups and the space allows you to do so. It's on us to put them in the right positions. It's on the guys to go execute at a high clip. And we're going to need every single day of those 3 weeks of camp before we start getting ready for Baylor to be able to identify that and then detail it out.
Coach, we're going to go to the middle section over on our right-hand side.
Hi, Olivia Eisenhower, WCJB Gainesville. In a conference that has so many new faces this season, you're one of a few taking that American to SEC pipeline. Can you speak a little bit more on that relationship with John Summerall and a rematch that'll be all SEC this year?
Yeah, Olivia. You know, John and I obviously competed against each other for a couple of years in the American. Gotten to know John well. I respect how he works. I respect his approach. I think works as hard as anybody. His players believe in him, which is what you can see when you turn the film on, when you play against them. But I think smart, tough, gritty, and that's what his teams are. That's what he's always been as a coach. Got a ton of respect for him. We've got a long ways before we get to that Week 3 matchup, but boy, it'll be fun at Jordan-Hare Week 3, Saturday night.
Okay, we'll be down in front here, second row.
Hey, Coach, Daryl Dapprich, Locked on Auburn. Professional Football Focus just put out a stat that other than West Virginia, your teams go faster than anybody in the country as far as running your offense. What does that conversation look like with DJ Durkin and how maybe defensively he has to adjust and atone for that?
Hey, Daryl, that's a great question. You know, I think what's fascinating about college football and specifically our league, you look at our schedule, our out-of-conference, and then certainly in the SEC, half of our schedule, you're playing teams that are, at least going into the season, that are playing with a high level of tempo. The goal has never been to be the fastest team in the country or top anything. The goal is to play as efficiently and quickly as you can while executing with an elite level of detail. So for our defensive staff, it's what you want to get ready. It's way easier to get ready for a tempo offense and then be able to slow it down where you've got a little bit more time to get lined up, identify things, communicate, than the other way around where you're playing against a slow down offense, and then when it's time to play an up-tempo offense, now you got to change how you practice, or you got to change how a scout team or multiple scout teams have got to operate. So for our defense to be able to go play against our offense every single spring practice, every single fall camp practice, and then the ability to wind it back when you have to, I think is way easier than the inverse of that. And so it's been really good for our defense. Again, it's going to be 6 games, at least as of right now, going in where that's the prep that we need defensively. And so for Dirk and that defensive staff, it's the best thing I think that you could possibly have, is being able to see that in practice every single day and having answers, because it is. You call it different, you practice it differently. So to be able to have answers ahead of time going into the season is absolutely huge.
Which will go in front of me, about 3 rows back on the aisle.
Morning, Coach. Whitman Clark from Tide 100.9. Coming into your first season, what would you say is the Alex Golesh definition of success this year? Is it a certain win number? Is it beating your rivals in Alabama and Georgia? Is it making the college football playoff? What is your set goal or definition of success going into 2026?
Yeah, Whitman. So I don't set goals. I've always thought that that's like a little bit like New Year's resolutions. They usually work for a little bit and then you kind of keep it moving. I set standards. We set standards as a program. Our standard is to be the best version of us every single day. The standard when I got to Auburn was to get as good as we possibly can, as fast as we can. How do we do that? By our daily process, by how we attack every single day, by the standards within that program that, like I talked about earlier, that as they become upheld by our players and it becomes player-driven, then those standards become reality, become a way of life every single day within the program. I think a successful year one, as I mentioned earlier, is if we can leave year one and have a foundation of who we are, our identity, proof of concept offensively, defensively, so we can continue to recruit to that identity. Right now, we've recruited extremely well. It's a huge credit to our staff, huge credit to our recruiting staff, scouting staff, personnel staff, full-time staff, everybody involved. We're sitting with a top 10 class in the country with zero proof of concept, with a year behind a majority of our league. Now, if you can show proof of concept and lay a foundation for what Auburn football looks like moving forward, then you can continue to recruit and, just as importantly, really more importantly, retain to that and develop within your program underneath this umbrella of what our identity is year in, year out. That's how you build a consistent football program. And so year one, that foundation's got to be laid. And what that looks like in win totals will be determined by what we've done the last 7 months and what we do in the next 6 weeks leading up to this week one. The wins will take care of themselves as long as our identity is what it is. If we are physically and mentally tough, if we are detailed, if we are player-led, if we are connected as a team, if we win in the margins, if we take care of what we have to take care of from a detail standpoint, I love where our talent is. We're plenty talented enough to go win every single game. This is a really, really talented league with elite players and elite coaches. And so what wins football games? The teams that can play on Saturdays and score one more point than the other because they have a true identity of who they are. Year one will be successful if we leave it and we know exactly who we are and we've got proof of concept to continue to build to.
I have one final question in the middle aisle.
Coach Ryan Shapiro, Columbia Missourian. You picked up a couple of big wins last season at USF. This year, you've got a pretty tough road schedule. What makes you confident in your team and your system to go into places like Knoxville and Tuscaloosa to pick up a couple of wins and build that foundation that you're speaking on?
Yeah, Ryan, what gives you confidence is the ability to go into every single day and continue to perfect our process. I think confidence comes, real confidence, not fake confidence, but real, authentic, genuine confidence comes from elite level process day in, day out. As coaches, as players, the ability to walk into a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, especially in some of the best environments in the entire country, and know that the amount of work that's been put in is what's prepared me for this moment. And that's truly the day-to-day of how we operate. I said going into the summer, we can't waste a day. The confidence comes from not wasting a day. The confidence comes from knowing that you never cheated your process. And that's individually as players, as coaches, as support staff, day in, day out. Because you're right, to go win in some of the best environments in college football, that's why you want to coach in this league. That's why you want to play in this league, because of that. And the confidence comes truly from your day-to-day process.
Coach Golesh, thank you for your time today.
Thank you. War Damn Eagle.
Great stuff from new Auburn head coach Alex Golesh, who has been here since early this morning. We chatted with him on the set about his 2026 team. A lot of new faces and a lot to discuss. When we come back, some notable non-conference games on the other side. It's SEC Now, 2026 SEC Kickoff presented by Regions Bank.